Campaign team. He's joined us on the line. Kwasi, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Yeah, good evening, Sandra.
Good evening to you. How has the campaign been? We have just, 12 days to go?
We've been on the grounds selling our message, the message of uniting the party, the message of winning power for the party in 2028, and most importantly, the message of creating jobs for our team in youth. So far, of course, from our observation and the few sponsored polls that we've done internally, we can only be hopeful and also be confident. But of course, we are not all our hopes on just being confident. We can, even within this 9 minutes, to make sure that 31st Ken comes out victorious. So we are still working. We are still on the ground. Even as I speak with you, I am currently in the Bono East region with Madame Renato. Ken's wife is also in a different region, and also Ken himself is also doing some mop-up after finishing his last set of rounds. So I would say so far so good. We are just trusting God that on 31st there will be victory.
Have you done the whole nation, or you still have some outstanding constituencies or regions?
Yes, so the team has been divided into three. Ken himself is done with the whole nation. The wife is done with about 12 regions, leaving about 4. And myself and Irene's team, we just entered the Bono East region. Hopefully by Friday, we should enter the 5 northern regions and also establish some base there. So we are very hopeful that hopefully by close of next week, we should be done with the whole the whole country, as in even the third team and the second team respectively.
So let's talk about the reception. Let's talk about the reception that his campaign has been receiving, his message. What have the delegates been telling you about the message that your candidate is selling? And what's your candidate's message really?
To be very honest, I can see the delegates are poised for change. They are aware of the data relative to our performance in the last election. And if you look at their posture, they also listen to what Ghanaians are saying. If you look at it from a very realistic point of view, a lot of people believe that even in the spirit of a party revival, we need a change. And most importantly, they want a candidate that is not only visible but also marketable. And when we talk about marketability, we are talking about a candidate that is accepted and has built trust and credibility over the years. And even if we look at our voter, the delegates are just 2% of the total voter population. Even if we have to use the 2024 voter population as a reference. So clearly, they are poised to make a change in the direction of the majority, and we can confidently say that yes, our message is going well. The reception is good. And we believe that hopefully 31st, they will make a change that aligns with the will of Ghanaians, majority of Ghanaians.
But the polls don't show that your candidate will win, though, does it?
Come again?
The polls are not that favorable for you in terms of
number. Which of them? Because those ones that I've seen. Which of them? Because those ones that I've seen, even today, I'm told one Evans, Dr. Evans, a researcher also brought a poll that projects Ken to win with about 52 to 56%. And even with that one, even though I've not had the opportunity to review his whole methodology, I felt that Ken shouldn't be doing anything like 56%, especially from those of us who are touching the base. So it depends on which poll you are talking of.
Are you not overly confident?
No, I mean, it's also stemmed from the fact that we are also working so hard, touching base. You know, for the first time, if you compare this campaign with that of the 2023 campaign, you realize that with this one, we have dispatched every point 3 campaign teams. This is something that Ken did not have in 2023. I'm sure you also attest even to the fact that in terms of even our campaign outlook, in terms of the communication, in terms of messaging, in terms of brand, and there has been significant improvement. Coupled with the fact that from the other camp, there have also been a lot of people that has rejected that step and even joined us. So it is not from a place of overconfidence, but it's from a place of hard work and assurance that the good people of NPP will reward Ken at the end of the day, especially when they know that Ghanaians are really calling for a candidate that has built that level of credibility and trust that can easily be sold to the people of Ghana.
Talking about selling the candidates, the other argument from your key opponent, Dr. Bawumia's camp, is that he's most marketed. He has been on the political space since 2008 as running mate for 2 terms, vice president for 2 terms, Flagbearer for 1 term. So at least he's known by everybody in this country. You do not agree?
I beg to differ. You see, there is a distinction between marketability and visibility. In the case of Dr. Bawumia, I would say that he has been visible within the past 16 years. And if you want to translate into even monthly basis, he has been around for the past 192 months. But if you are marketed for about 192 months, and still the data shows that the people has rejected you, especially when you look at the results and it has been the worst performance ever witnessed in any political history so far as our country is concerned, you cannot then conclude that indeed he has been marketable. At best, what you can say is that he has been visible because he has been around as a former vice president for the past 16 years. But in terms of marketability, that ultimately has to translate into acceptance, especially looking at President Akufo-Addo, who was just marketed for the past just 8 months and was still able to win the first round of his election. In that circumstance and in that context, you can say that the candidate was marketable. But at best, the best description you can give to Dr. Bawumia's situation is that he has been visible. In terms of marketability, translating into acceptance and credibility, the data does not suppose so. And Ken has been around, being part of the family members of the party, has supported the party, his philanthropic job, everything has earned him that level of credibility, the trust, his courage to challenge the status quo, his character traits of being bold, assertive, his sense of patriotism and honesty has earned him that level of acceptance. So, at best, I can say that Ken is more marketable than Dr. Bawumia.
Now, we are also very aware that campaigning needs a lot of money, if not just for the rounds. Sometimes they talk about oiling the palms of the delegates. Is your campaign financially resourced for dealing with 200,000 plus delegates?
Certainly, if we want to have a very honest conversation about this, certainly we may have to admit that campaigns of such nature, especially within the African continent, and of course, properly so called within the Ghanaian jurisdiction, will always be expensive. We are moving with cars, we are moving with teams, we are moving with security teams. You invite delegates to come and listen to your message rationally. You may have to give them some reasonable amount of transportation. So certainly, it goes with higher level of commitment. And those are conversations that we may look at it in subsequent times. A proper and honest discussion on funding politically political activities or political regimes. But I would say that we are fine. We've had a lot of support from like-minded people who believe in the Ken vision, people who believe that indeed Ken must get the nod and transform the socio-economic fortunes of this country through job creation and, of course, instilling in us the sense of discipline as a people. So people have come on board. The business community has come on board. The diaspora community has come on board. And, of course, Ken himself, without not seem to be bragging, but Ken himself has worked for a while and he's also made some reasonable amount of money to also sponsor a cause that he believes in. So yes, our campaign, in terms of our financial standing, I would say that we are good to go. But of course, just like Willie Baptist, you always ask for more. So Omaro, even if you want to sponsor us, we are open. You call me, I'll take you to the man. Then we have a conversation.
me now no get some. So you when I get some. But thank you so much for speaking to us and wish you all the best, Kwasi.
All right, thank you.
That's Kwasi Kwarteng. He speaks for Kennedy Agyapong.